Okay, so again, good morning, guys. This is just kind of a little impromptu get together, and I figured let's talk for a moment about what is going on in these markets, what we need to be looking at, and just kind of what the general status of everything is. Now, I have been watching and reading and hearing so many different reports in so many different places of people saying, "Hey, we're long, we're short, we're doing everything." And, of course, analysts, I'm not talking about just, all of us day-to-day kind of traders, but, the big analysts, oh, we saw the dollar run coming, oh, we didn't see it coming, everything everywhere, right? So here is kind of what's going on as far as I can see it. We have signs of pretty major overextension pretty much everywhere. So how do we do this? Okay, first off, this is something that I have warned against, right? Which is stepping in front of the US dollar, or excuse me, stepping in front of any rally pre-summer, right? So don't get in front of a pre-summer movement, try to go with it. Now, here's the problem. I got in front of the pre-summer movement. So I don't know what that makes me, a little bit of a hypocrite or something, but this is, I definitely knew the risks of what we were looking at, and this is that time of year that we get a big push. So big pre-summer kind of rush here. Now, nice to see you, Craig and Bo. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean we're all screwed or something's going on crazy here? No, it means that markets still have to do what markets have to do. Now, once or twice or three times a year, we get kind of these big, crazy, wild rallies, and the other 90% of the time, we kind of just see a push and a pullback and a push and a pullback. So we're kind of just having a little bit of a stronger push. Now, yeah, I like having triplets. Yes. Kind of like as Jim Gaffigan says, you're drowning and somebody hands you a baby. So it's a little bit of that which is going on here in these markets. But here are the two charts that I posted this morning, just in the public chat for everybody, and that is the euro dollar, right? So euro dollar making this big push. Now, the reason that I mentioned in the chat that these are hourly charts, right, is because these hourly charts have such tight channels. Basically, the euro dollar and the dollar index are going straight down, right? Now, it doesn't look straight down. You say, oh, that's a choppy little movement. Yeah, all that good stuff. That channel is about 9 pips apart, and it's been going straight down since this little movement back here it about kind of broke out of that consolidation on the 18th or 19th of April. Here we are in the whatever the date is today, but we're somewhere in early May. And so we've had this straight down movement, right? This thing's gone from 120, about 124 down to, 119 and change. So it's around 400 plus pips in a pretty short time frame. Now, it missed our entry, right? We had a pending order in the group at 124.40. Where did this, what was our highest point? I mean, I'm really sad about this, to be totally honest. I mean, there's definitely no line about that. 124.13, and we had an order at 124.40 to short the euro dollar for all the wonderful reasons that we talked about back here, which were, coming up against all this, our big 125.50 decision point, and it just missed us by a hair. And it was a little bit hard to get into kind of, the movement afterwards because it was a little bit of a choppy movement down, but it was a straight choppy movement down, which is crazy. So here is kind of what we have going on now. Dollar pairs are getting all so ridiculously overextended, specifically euro dollar and pretty much anything else dollar related at this point. So Frank was asking in the chat a little bit, what's NFP going to do? What's NFP going to do to the New Zealand dollar and really to any dollar pair, right? I think is kind of what the question is. What are we going to see happen on these dollar pairs? Hey, Gerhard, nice to see you. Good grief. So that being the case, here's what I'm looking at. Now, for those of you that trade with me and are in the live group and so on, and you see my explanations every day, you kind of know where I'm going with this. And for those that aren't in the group and you're just joining us for this quick little impromptu get-together, here's what we have happening, and we can just kind of use the euro dollar and the dollar index as kind of points of reference on this whole situation. And it goes as follows. Excessive overextension, right? So we've got daily pivots and weekly pivots galore, just speckled all down here. Daily, weekly, monthly, daily, weeklies, all over the place for this kind of 400 pip run that we've seen so far. Now, here is what can happen. This pre-summer push can definitely continue going, and where this euro dollar, for example, might stop is a little bit of anybody's guess. But we are coming down into some pretty good, support zones. You can see kind of where this is headed, and I'm taking this somewhere, so bear with me for a moment. So here we kind of have this. We kind of have that level that we made that break of, and then we're kind of running down into this little zone right here where we've got some support, some resistance, some support. We're heading back into that. That's kind of the 119.50. We've got the 200 EMA that we haven't touched in 100 years, and all of this stuff kind of happening right here. So do I think that's a decent place to get a little bit of at least relief on this straight down trend? Yes, I think so. And honestly, I'm looking forward to NFP giving us probably nothing more than a bit of a spike. If NFP gives us, on Friday, gives us a little bit of a spike up here for maybe 100 pips and then kind of just continues going down, I won't be surprised. But I think it can give us that kind of a movement. And it's usually some sort of news announcement that helps propel a movement to get rebalanced. So this is an out of balance dollar move. The dollar index has gone so crazy for such a period of time here. The last couple of weeks, dollar index has just gone kind of nuts. And so now we're looking for basically some sort of news or some sort of something to rebalance this. Because at this point, there's absolutely no way on the green planet in which we inhabit that I'm going to be trying to, and there hasn't been for 100 pips or so, any reason for me to want to be long US dollar, right? We've had these big moves, and I just do not want to be long US dollar because it's too overextended at this point. So it's kind of just a waiting game of let's get the dollar back. Let's get it back. Let's get it rebalancing itself and back to some of these levels. Look at the dollar index. Daily pivot, weekly pivot, daily pivot, beautiful imbalance level, weekly pivot, weekly and monthly pivots. It's just so crazy overextended, and this channel is so tight that it's at this point it's just a waiting game. I ran right through FOMC yesterday with 2 positions on New Zealand dollar, just like, yep, that's going to be fine, and I'm going to roll right on through non-farm payroll with 2 positions as well, because at this point, my positions and what is recommended for members here on New Zealand dollar are spaced far enough apart that that we're kind of in a good place. We're kind of in a good situation to be able to just kind of let it do its thing. And if it continues towards more dollar strength, if NFP drives this towards more dollar strength, which it absolutely can, by the way. So this is kind of a reminder for those in the risk management side of things. If we get a move, towards more dollar strength, then that's just going to kind of keep me on the war path, I guess you could say. And I'm not trying to get the market to bend to my will. It's just markets go up and markets go down, right? And that's all they do. And this is where we have to kind of keep our heads clear and say, okay, it's going up right now, and we have all the signs that we typically look for an exhaustive trend. And that's really kind of the moral of the story this morning is every single sign is present. Now, can a trend continue to go before really getting to exhaustion? Yes, absolutely. And this can continue to go up. But it's not going to change my outlook, and it's not going to change how I'm trading this. Now, what I do want to do is I absolutely want to participate in the dollar strength, right? I want to participate in dollar strength, but only after we get this kind of stuff happening, right? I want to see that kind of stuff happening, and then, yes, I'll be all over some dollar strength. I'm loving that, and I think the dollar might be ready for a really big, really excellent move. So we're going to have to be, and this is why I'm not trying to get too gung-ho and trade too many dollar reversals at this point, because we're making some breaks, right? We're getting some breakouts. The dollar index is broken out of this big channel that's been in play for a long time, but it's not just going to run forever up. And with such a tight channel that it's been in, this is a great opportunity to see this kind of corrective movement come down, hit these pivots, backside of that trend line, and then continue on. So, yes, do I want to see a bunch of great dollar movement happen? Absolutely. Am I super happy to be kind of fighting the trend right now? I'd rather not be, but at the same time, I would much rather be in the direction of dollar weakness right now than dollar strength, because this is too much overextension. This is not something that can be sustainable for much longer. So it'll be NFP, or it'll be something shortly thereafter that's going to give us a correction, get us into some profit, give us some opportunities to trade some of this stuff, and then give us another opportunity to ultimately get going for the trend of dollar strength. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. Now, I wanted to make this a quick one this morning. I'll give you guys about 1 minute to ask any questions you can, any comments you want to make on anything. Otherwise, we'll wrap it up. But that's kind of what I wanted to talk about for a moment this morning. Yes, Bo, you're exactly right. Gerhard has been here literally since day one. He's kind of a staple to the group, so we're happy he's still with us. It's only been maybe 10 years or so, which is pretty much exactly accurate. Okay, questions, guys? Any questions real quick before we wrap it up? That's kind of just what I wanted to look at really quick and just remind everybody, the dollar index / euro dollar, and there's a lot of great setups. And I'm going to talk about a few more of these going into, we're going to have a live non-farm payroll session tomorrow. And I'm going to talk about a little bit more stuff, but I'm going to save it for then, and we'll see how it goes. But I just want to give you guys a couple of moments to kind of discuss some of this. Yes, Gerhard, from the beginning, absolutely. James, Euro Yen is also falling. We are seeing Euro weakness. Yeah, Craig. Craig, I don't participate in any of that stuff. I just surf and enjoy and have a good time. Yes. We do definitely see some Euro weakness. Euro Yen is going down. Euro New Zealand's going down. Euro everything's going down. Yeah, absolutely. So we're definitely seeing some Euro weakness across the board. Yeah, absolutely. Which would make it great for this Euro Swiss, which we'll talk about tomorrow. We'll talk about that tomorrow for sure. But we're definitely seeing some Euro weakness across the board. So, but for now, let's focus on the biggest story of ever, which is this massive dollar trend. And this dollar trend has absolutely the potential to last for another couple of weeks. Now, that doesn't mean without some pullback. Zero part of me anticipates any kind of a pullback here of major reversal or significant pullback. So, for example, euro dollar right here, I would be very happy and very unsurprised to see this kind of thing and then a big continuation and a big push lower. I think that's absolutely possible. So hopefully some NFP will give us that. Hopefully some end of week gives us that and kind of rebalances this dollar movement so that we can get in and participate in that dollar strength, because I think it absolutely has the potential to go through the end of the month and even into mid-June. But I'm not going to participate in it until we get some of that pullback. Okay, guys, that's all I had for you this morning. I'm going to make kind of a more specific video update with some entries and trend details for members shortly here. But I just want to kind of give everybody a little bit of an update of what I'm looking at, kind of how I'm watching all of this. Yes, Craig, absolutely. The Euro Swiss is going to be huge. It's going to be huge. That Euro Swiss is really nice. Quick little look at Euro Swiss on the scanner. You can see, let's go to daily chart here. Scanner Euro Swiss 297, 380 pips away from moving average. That's going to be a big deal. That's something we want to jump in on. The scanner is screaming in our faces. Not to mention, look at this right here. We got some 15-minute action coming up too. I kind of wanted to bring this up for a moment, but I'll just show this for a moment. Pound CAD, pound dollar. Pound dollar still got a little bit of room there, so pound dollar looks good. Pound CAD probably won't do too much trading there yet, but pound dollar is looking pretty interesting. So it's just another dollar pair that's overextended. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm looking at this morning, and I just want to give you guys a little bit of an update. We'll talk more about it on non-farm payroll tomorrow. Thanks everybody for jumping in real quick with me for this kind of last-minute little update on everything. Any last questions? 30 seconds, type them in. Otherwise, we'll leave it at that. Thanks a bunch, everybody. Nice to see you all. We have some great trades in the works. Absolutely fantastic. You know, some of these are once in a decade kind of trade setups, and so I want to be in the face of these, ready to go for it. As they say, we're taking this stuff head on, and we're gonna conquer. So because we know how to manage this stuff, we know how to use money management, we know how to kind of position ourselves. So we're gonna do well on all this stuff. So just hang in there, and let's stay the course and go for it. The one thing that charts always drive people crazy with is looking back and saying, darn it, I saw that. Why didn't I do something with that? Well, we're seeing it, and we're going to do something with it. So follow along, guys, and we'll make some bucks. Let's do it. Thanks, everybody. Nice to see you all. I'll post this recording as well for anybody that kind of wants to just review and have a peek. Thanks, guys. Take care, and we'll see you all for some live non-farm payroll action tomorrow morning, Friday morning. Thanks, guys. Take care.